Hey, hello. Hey, hello. Okay. I forgot that I had this opened. I was thinking like, where do I have the stream open? And okay. Hello. Hi. It is I, Ignis Eterna. I need to finish this event. So yeah. Luckily I can finish it today. If not, well, tomorrow then. I'll try to do at least 2 hours of stream. If I can't, then tomorrow. Another 2 hours. And that should be it. Right? Okay. Hello! How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? Wait, give a second. Let me put this on Twitter. There we go. Okay, let's start with this. Astino's office. I haven't looked. Oh no, I got him. Okay.
7条からここで会えると聞いた。俺の力が必要であれば命じてくれればいい。ただし、どうかさる。
Okay, buddy. I don't know. Let's get. Wait, who's the new one? AoE guard, Centurion. I suppose. So. Okay, let's go. Let's go. There's nothing here. There's nothing for us to do here. Let's just jump into it. There's a lot of event to read. Okay. Let me remember the voice that I put for me. Scratches here. Medjehtiqedti. As if it wasn't enough that you went off by yourself first thing in the morning. Now you're slamming doors and disturbing my nap. Have you repaired the harp, or have you been enjoying Asenia so much you forgot about your job? There's no use trying to repair the harp. Giving up so soon. You can't fix a tiny crack like that. What were you doing in all those classes you took in Columbia? Just filling in the crack and painting over it isn't. Just filling in the crack and painting over it isn't hard. But it's not just the harp that was damaged. It was also your fragile, bleeding heart. It was also Sargon's reputation. What? Kanesera's heart was one of the best preserved relics I ever seen. Wooden instruments are highly sensitive. The slightest blemish on the body could change its sound. That was why we were very careful during the appraisal process and avoided any destructive tests. I've heard it a million times at the museum. The ornaments, the materials, and lacquer are typical of the Minoan style. Historical records indicate that it very likely belonged to Keresera herself. But something didn't feel right when I was repairing it last night. The wood chips that fell from the crack indicate that the material was mountain fairs, the kind that ancient Minoans often used, but something was off with the cross-section texture. The weapons of the heroes are made from ancient trees. They have some pretty deep texture. No, it didn't look like the natural texture of wood. It was reminiscent of a certain moisture retention technique developed in Sargon. I read about it in old books about instrument making. Minoan plants are rich in moisture, while the climate in Sargon is generally dry. Wood imported from Minos had to be specially treated to prevent them from cracking due to the dryness. The cross-section I saw showed signs of such treatment. You mean this was not Kereseira's original harp, but a replica made by Sargonians using Minoan wood? You sure you're not overthinking it? I didn't want to believe it, but I just took the wood chips to a lab. This reveals the presence of Sargonian resin dating back about 100 years. Oof. The harp looked perfect. It was virtually impossible to tell that it was a replica without the destructive testing. I thought Paddy Shakeri knew anything. I have to tell the Astinomus. He can give the Minoans a fake harp under the eyes of Kereseira's statue. The exchange ceremony must be stopped. Ambassador Medjehtiqedti's mission was to carry out the exchange ceremony. Benue Effendi. We made an oath to the Padishah before we set out. How can you continue to call yourself the ambassador of Sargon if you fail to retrieve the engineering data from the construction of the Tripolis? Yes, I have my duties as an ambassador. As an archaeologist, however, I can't overlook such a mistake, much less intentionally participate in a lie. That's why I say you have no political acumen. You see yourself as a museum curator, not a diplomatic envoy. The important thing about the relic exchange ceremony is not relic, but the exchange. And you should go lie in a pit in the desert. Not even your face should be out of it. Who cares if the harp is a replica? It still makes a sound. You want to offer up a fake harp at the ceremony? Absolutely not. And what is your bright idea, Medjehtiqedti, without the authentic harp and a ceremony right around the corner? In the halls of Menat Hamat, you told Paddy Shakeri that you loved the legends of Minos and wanted to see true heroism with your own eyes. Is your idea of heroism clinging to your obsessions and bringing shame to your country at the very first cultural exchange between Sargon and Minos since the establishment of diplomatic relations? Are you and your useless father one and the same? He ruined your family, turned the name Naso Tumashire into a high society joke. In his obsession with literature, he abandoned his duties, even his duty to his daughter, forcing her to chase the shadow of heroes in books, failing to find an heroism in her father. This has nothing to do with him. I only love Minoan stories because, as the stories of Sargon, our priority is to carry out the exchange ceremony successfully, not our own obsessions and interests. Your words, verbatim. I'll find a way, before the ceremony, no matter what it takes. I can let a fake, obstinate fool. Very well, you can meditate while I'll act on your behalf. I carry the duty that the Sargonian ambassador was supposed to perform. It's not as if it changed anything. To Destinomos and the guest, you are nothing more than a curious girl, an enthusiastic volunteer to the temple project while negotiating with the Destinomos. I am, for all due intents and purposes, the true ambassador of Sargon. Hello. Maybe you don't remember me, but I visited this ranch quite a lot lately. The herder, Melita, knows me. Please, stop leaning on the fence and let me through. Give me a second. It's cold as fuck. I need a little bit of heating. There we go. It was not my intention to interrupt your nap. Perhaps you will enjoy the grass. The dew is still fresh on it. I also brought some berries. Well, I'm out of rice. In that case, would you like a dream interpretation? Curious. Maybe a Kiria? Cauliflower is a girl. Berries are too sweet for her, and grass isn't filling enough. You need carrots to draw her attention. Oh. If you find a wandering beast that has a fever and not even his favorite food can coax it to move, Just scoop some water with a leaf and spray it on its horn to cool it down. You really know your burden beast, Melita. I didn't know there were so many tricks to getting a burden beast to move. Of course, they are not like big beasts, which are used into taking commands. I heard it needs 100 tricks to coax burden beasts into doing what you need them to. Is this understanding that builds a bond between burden beast and herder? I am right, Cauliflower? Maybe it's a talent to know one more way to get burden beasts to move than other herders. Thanks for getting Cauliflower to move, Melita. No problem. A priestess of Endymion Temple gracing us with her presence means that this place is blessed by the heroes. We couldn't be happier. As long as it doesn't cause any trouble for you. Of course not. All you do is admire the sights and look at the fence. A little while back, I was concerned that a fall could slip through the cracks in the fences. A few days later, you filled the gaps with strong threads. Just doing my part. It was a very kind deed. I won't disturb you anymore. I have a few hoops to trim. Wait, one sec. There we go. Cassandra leans towards the fillet fence where delicate threads stand in circular intervals, gleaming in the sun. She plucks one of the threads, hearing nothing except the breeze blow over the pasture. Of course it wouldn't make a sound. Not even a burden beast running into it did. There isn't much time. When would you sing again? I know what you're here for. Curious Benoi. Rest assured that the relations between our two nations is the highest priority. A little incident will not be allowed to affect it. A little incident? Santos came to Ascendius 5 years ago, working as a ferryman and manager of the crossing. He took in an apprentice, Lycaon, a former priestess school student. They are accused of attempting to steal from the room of Ambassador Medjehtiqedti. They are being held in custody pending trial in accordance with the law. Since the ambassador has elected not to press charges, a justification to comfort ignorant people by a naive girl moonlighting as a supervisor of the rebuilding of the first temple, not a decision of the honored ambassador of Sargon. I see your views differ from Kyrios Mashire's. I will, of course, take full responsibility for this matter as Astinomos. However, I will ask that the two of you come to an agreement on how to deal with it. You know what I mean, Astinomos. My view is that of the Sargonian delegation. This tragedy, the theft and destruction of the harp, will never have happened if the exchange ceremony was not repeatedly delayed. I have reason to suspect that you have intentions other than promoting the relations between our two nations, that you have intentionally delayed the ceremony, and everything that took place did so on your orders. I heard the position of Astinomos was newly created following the administrative reform of Athenius, and you were rewarded with a role because of your contributions to said reforms. If something goes wrong with the first cultural exchange between our two nations since the establishment of diplomatic relations, then I congratulate you on being the only Astinomos who the people of Athenius will never forget. The exchange ceremony is certainly the most important task. I admit I was negligent for not arriving at the scene promptly due to a busy schedule. In that case, how will you define this incident? This theft and destruction of the harp. The brutal, barbaric, ignorant, baseless hatred of the perpetrators, the robbery and destruction of the symbol of friendship between Sargon and Minos was a most despicable act. In my 30 years overseeing cultural in Menad Hammait, Sargon has received many letters from Minos requesting the return of the cultural artifacts that were removed during the occupation. Should the plunderers of Minos' national treasure be severely punished if you Minos truly value it so much? They will be tried according to Minoan law, as far as the punishment is concerned, so I have no intention of leaving the impression that Sargon is trying to bully the people of Athenius. We are emissaries of peace after all. This is a most sensitive time, however. Just because Sargon and Minos signed a truce 5 years ago doesn't mean that all is peaceful and well. The Padishah are used to solving problems with force of arms. I will not give them a reason to get angry if I were you. Santos Allegation conspired to steal and deface a national treasure and sabotage the exchange ceremony. Their actions are tantamount to treason. They will be put on death row immediately. Thank you, Astinomos. I look forward to the exchange ceremony in a few days. Get in. What's going on? It's not normal to transfer prisoners so suddenly before we're officially sentenced. Just following my orders. Move quietly and behave yourselves. Maybe there will be a chance for clemency. You really believe the Sargonian ambassador will protect the Minoans who try to steal the harp? We heard that she said to the officer it would have been easiest to make the accusations while everyone was watching, but she didn't do it. You can never tell what someone is thinking. Submit an official assessment of the damage. Put pressure on the Astinomos and peace officers. There are many things that a Sargonian delegate can do. That row, we're getting the royal treatment. You should regret it, Lycaon. Destroying a hotel kitchen is nothing compared to the charges we now face. Ultimate reason we had to take ours back from the bandits. The heart of Kereseira sings only for the stories of heroes. It will not and must not sing for a false peace. I know your past, Master Santos. I may not have experienced war for myself, but I respect your decision. I couldn't let you risk everything by yourself, having known about your plan. You saved my life 2 years ago. It was your classmate from preschool, Hecademos, who carried you down from the archery range after you were injured by an Originium shard. I just took in a former student who wasn't willing to continue in the priesthood. That's all. An effect can never become a priest. It's divine work, communing with the heroes and guiding the way for the people. I couldn't do it. As for Hecademos, all he wants is someone to debate him. Do not fool yourself, Lycaon. It will only make the pain worse when you finally have to face it. Master Santos? My friend brought technology from the nomadic cities when he came to my homeland after receiving divine revelation. He built a village in the barren swamps with us. The people in the village respected him a lot, but he always had a dark look on his face, late at night. I lied to myself and tried to convince him that the river in his dreams wasn't red with blood. It was red because of iron that the river brought from upstream, and the revelation was supposed to bring him to us. But he didn't believe it. He was prepared to go to war from the beginning. I was fooling myself. River. Young people these days are foolish enough to fight the Sargonians to the death because of a dream like that. And the two of you are here because you stole things from the Sargonians. The harp of Kereseira belonged to the Minoans. Even less worth it. Oh. That truly belongs to the Minoans these days, after the Sargonians invaded 100 years ago. Invaded. Convergence.
身の安全にどうか気をつけてください。こういう時のザクロちゃんの艶はたまらないよね。
I have no vanguards. Wonderful.
挑戦しがいのある皮と肉から吸い上げる。もう後悔の余地はありません。
What the? Wooden burden beast of Ilion. Cannot be blocked, carries up to 5 passengers, with each additional passenger reducing its movement speed. What the fuck?
これが戦場というものね。
Oh, so that's how it works.
泣き叫べ、その脆い信念のもとで。
いつでも動ける。
Can be blocked? This cannot be blocked! Fuck!
真の像から湧き上がる。
Really?
どうさなきゃいいの？
No!
そういうの得意でいいかよ。
I forgot to read that part.
やばいのにちょっかい出しちゃったね。ずらかるよ。ほら、チャキチャキ足動かして。
What's with the horse? Wooden burden beast of Ilion. Cannot be blocked. Carries up to 5 passengers. Movement speed reduced for each additional passage. Defense, high resistance. Movement speed A, attack speed D. Wooden burden beasts of Ilion. The story is so well known that a group of men squeezing themselves into a vehicle is immediately understood as a recreation of the legend. And onlookers are invited to join in. I suppose. Yeah.
わかりました。
Yeah, let's put Umeri here. In the middle to slow them down.
次に振り返るのは勝利を携えて帰還する時です。逃げ道など必要ありません。
Then. Nope.
はい。
Nice.
挑戦しがいのある強敵だといいな。
The more passengers
こ
it
こにひざま
has.
ずくのです。
It in, right?
やっちゃおっか。
And it's cannot be
震
blocked.
え上がる。
Single,
真の
right?
勇敢さを前に呼びましたか。
Oh, nice.
誤解なきを言っとくけど、戦場の匂いは別に好きじゃないから。
Oops. This one might be hard.
泣き叫べ、その脆い信念のもとで。
Oi, 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 what's wrong with you?
ドクターの言う通りにするよ。
I don't have
やっと出番。軽いサイズの何
anything. Man,
怖くはないわ。
for real.
泣き叫べ、その脆い信念のもとで。
こっちこっち。
That's 3. And this cannot. Okay. Okay. So the strategy is to absolutely slow them down. So wait. I don't have the. Man, it's really the percentage one. It's not the slow thing. Slow thingy. Okay, let me check this. Here. So, click is not enough. I didn't believe that it was going to be enough. slightly lazy.
ロドスの方の実力をこの総合で見定めさせていただきます。
Just a little bit expensive. And I don't have any vanguards. Not again. No.
みんな
Forgot about that.
くれぐれも安全にね。
Fool.
挑戦しがいのある強敵だといいな。こういう時の
Okay,
ザクロ
let's
ちゃ
try
んの
this.
艶はたまらないよね。
呼びましたか。呼びましたか。
Okay, nice. Another one. Yay. Set the one.
わかりました。
Wonderful.
呼びましたか。
皮と肉から吸い上げる。
呼びましたか。逃げ道など必要ありません。呼びましたか。たやすいことです。
No. One more. One more.
よしとしましょう。英雄
Ah, not enough.
この揺るぎなき罪に裁きを。
Fuck.
英雄たちよ、この揺るぎなき信念を。
No, this one doesn't matter, right?
はい。
That one doesn't have any standing in.
皮と肉から吸い
So it's faster. Fuck. Huh. Horse.
やばいのにちょっかい出しちゃったね。ずらかるよ。ほら、チャキチャキ足動かして。
What was this one? Random enemies? The ground enemies, okay.
わかりました。
We have a nice slower. Let's put this Tina here.
わかりました。
I haven't used this Tina in a long time. Hmm.
諸君、楽しいことでも考え
Promire again.
例えば任務後に何をい
Eight.
ただこうかなとか。
逃げ道など必要ありません。ここにひざまずくのです。
What did you do?
誤解なきを。
失礼します。
Nice. And it's Tina here.
任せて。
Andiamo.
はい。ここにひざまずくのです。
Good.
ああ、自分の血でむせるなんてやめ よね。わかった。
Fuck, I forgot that it's only in the area.
ドクター、何か
Go.
ああ、自分の血でむせるなんてやめてよね。わかった。オート。
It's still a big range, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough.
ああ、自分の血でむせるなんてやめてよね。わかった。
Hmm.
200メートル先に辻門っぽいの発見。
Nice. Slow.
どういう戦術？私の武器は一本だけじゃないんだから。
Ha! 15 dB. Fuck!
生から死へと遡る。
Not enough. Not enough. Fuck. That's straight.
真の像から湧き上がる。
Okay, and when they reach the end, it just explodes.
戦争に終わりがなくとも、今回ばかりは命の尊厳を守り通すことができました。
So how is this supposed to go? Right here? Someone here? These cars have weight 6, cannot be blocked. Okay, movement speed reduced for each additional passenger. I know that the idea of these things is that you have to coordinate them to get enemies, to be stuck with enemies. So I have an idea. What if not Sargonian but Iberian?
Let me see how Rogue's Island fights.
And he has the Delta module. So, So probably
みんな、
it
く
may
れぐれ
work.
も安全にね。
No tardará mucho. Entendido.
22. Fuck.
Entendido.
Okay, let's put this Tina here
戦う
again.
しかないようです。
14.
これが戦場というものね。
Come on, more.
位置につきました。
Nice.
Entendido.
This is the destreza of Iberia.
Nice. This is another horse. A weird one. That wants to go away.
ドクター、
Nope. Don't let them.
こういう時のザクロちゃんの強
Don't
さ
let them go
は
away.
ないよね。 問題ない。ほら、しっかり。 生から死へと遡る。
Awaiting on.
didn't slow down.
角の示す意味を知ってるかな。真の像から湧き上がる。やっと
Man.
出番。私の武器は一本だけじゃないんだから。
Ah! And there you go. Fuck. So they need high damage, high earth damage.
撤退すべきだ。あなたの身の方が大事だ。
What can I use that doesn't? I have an idea.
せっかくの作戦に出るチャンス。
I still don't want to use casters. Or too many casters at least. So I'll have the Delta module. Well, I don't think it should be a problem, right? Right? Or at least not too much of a problem. The problem is that there's nothing to put my...
No tardará mucho.
anyone there. 16. There. Here?
リラックスして。リラックス。
How long? 120. 14. There we
怖
go.
くはないわ。
Huh.
位置につきました。
Nice. And that's a little card.
Awaiting on. Stand still. It'll spare all of us the effort.
こ
There
の
we
2
go.
本
Bam.
の角の示す意味を知ってるかな。呼びましたか。失礼します。
The roll is slowed. Fuck. Se le llevó el carro.
200メートル先に辻門っぽいの発見。
Slow. Slow, you bastard. Slow. Nice. Let's go.
こういう時のザクロちゃんの強。ああ。
Nice.
自分の血でむせるなんてやめてよね。わかった。呼びましたか。やっと出番だね。
Nice. And that's this should be it. Finally, with the power of Suzerain.
生から死へと遡る。
Stand still. It'll spare all of us the effort.
Nice. With the power of Suzerain and Aniver Delta Thorns. Yay.
Mission accomplished.
I still don't know how that works. Hey, you're the one who invited me. Say something. I skipped the banquet celebrating the completion of the first temple for you, you know. You were a big part of getting to work across the finish line the day before the exchange ceremony. Tradition calls for a full day of celebration. The craftsmen began drinking and reciting poetry in broad daylight. Not all of them hold their drink well. Guess the peace officers will have their hands full tonight. Gantia from the moving crew, right? She's really taken to you after you helped her a few times. Yeah, it's been like a dream coming to Athenius. Right you are. First day in Asenius, you stop the dispute between the fruit farmers and craftsmen. Then you become the supervisor of the final phase of the temple rebuilding project. And you chased Santos over multiple blocks after the harp was stolen. Way more interesting than just escorting a relic, isn't it? Yeah. But my job was to ensure that the exchange ceremony goes smoothly and promote the friendship between our two nations. What's the matter, Titi? This isn't like you. This isn't like you. Palas, the harp of Cresseira we brought. It's a replica. Eh? I would never have known if the harp wasn't damaged during my scuffle with Santos. Now, my deputy, Benoit, wants to fulfill the Padishah mission by handing over the fake harp in the exchange ceremony. But I know that's not right. Ceremony is tomorrow. Do you have a solution? There's no good way to do this. We need a miracle. I read through every relevant book I could borrow from the Bibliotheca of Asenius. I learned that the heart of Cresseira was lost to a war a long time ago, and it hasn't been seen since. It's likely the Sargonian craftsman who made this replica had only seen the blueprints, not the harp itself. Could the true harp still be in Minos, or it was destroyed by the fires of war long ago? I'm sorry. There's no need for you to apologize. What do you plan to do if the true harp is nowhere to be found? I can publicly announce in my capacity as Sargonian ambassador that we brought a fake harp. It's more likely to lead to a conflict and reveal the truth. A very reasonable concern. And so I'll have to stop the ceremony in my personal capacity. What do you mean? I'm getting rid of the fake harp before the ceremony can start. No, Titi! You can go in. Look, I know a visitor permit is required to visit and deliver supplies. I just forgot. Can you accommodate me this once? My old classmate went in a couple of days ago, all of a sudden. His family asked me to bring him some stuff. Alright. To tell you the truth, he's pretty sick. The Estonian jail has a doctor and basic medicine, but it's not as effective as the Rhode Island stuff. He could have an attack while in custody if he doesn't get proper treatment. Save your breath. It's no use. Alright, I didn't want to do this. Here's my pass. Hecademos, Grammateos to the Astinomos. I am authorized to enter the detention facilities and bring in suspects for questioning. Open the door. This is an order. I will file the necessary paperwork later. You want to see the two thieves who came in a few days ago? Liqueyo is not a... Never mind. Yes. You can't. What? Why not? You're authorized to see prisoners held at the jail, but the two you're looking for aren't here anymore. Were they transferred? That is unusual. Has Kyria's Apollo Soripati treatment system been implemented already? Where were they transferred? Don't bother, Hecademos. I don't know who they are to you, but now the Grammateos to the Astinomos is authorized to see inmates in death row. Death row! Sorry, Kyria's Apollo. Does the Astinomos really not have the time? I heard that Santos and his apprentice were arrested for theft. They are my patients, and I in a key stage of treatment, as the Rhode Island clinic already reported. Santos' blood origin and crystal density is particularly high, which could potentially lead to an acute attack of oripacy. I would like to deliver medicine to them. Look, I don't understand any of the medical jargon you're throwing around. We are all very grateful to you for returning to Athenius, bringing back medical knowledge that you learned abroad and establishing a oripacy clinic, but I shouldn't talk too much, but you're a good doctor, and the Astinomos sister. You really should keep your distance from her for a few days at least, if only for the sake of your relationship. Why? The official line says the crime was theft, but the Sargonian ambassador came here a few days ago and said the thing that was stolen wasn't the ambassador's personal item, but an important relic for the exchange ceremony. He put a lot of pressure in Lydia. They're probably going to be publicly charged with treason once the ceremony is over. Treason? But according to Minoan law, most of the issues Sastinomo's faces cannot be solved through legal procedures. She wants a new, modern Minos, and she's willing to give everything for it. That's why we are willing to work for her. Perhaps you're not aware, but she gave up her family inheritance, even chasing her other family out of Athens after taking office. She gave up her inheritance? I thought the business failed. This exchange of relics is an important part of her administration. There must be no mistake, at least not on the surface, even if it means sacrificing 2 lives. It's not like they are innocent after all. Oh, sorry. I have to go back to work. What is Lydia? Well, she wouldn't bet me, and I doubt I can convince her, even if we did met. But Santos and Lycaon need to be tried fairly. I can't let Lydia make a mistake like this. What do I do? Sorry, I was lost in thought. Kyrios Apollo? You have been staring out of the window, Astinomos. Apologies, Hereia Cassandra. Why not let Kyrios Apollo in? I have to discuss the establishment of an Oripacy treatment system with her anyway. Who? I thought you wanted to get extra help to plead the case of the 2 infected who were arrested a few days ago. You know that ferryman, Santos, quite well. I believe you were the one who found him in the job at the crossing. The peace officers will deal with this theft. Neither of us need to worry about it. I'm afraid I don't have that luxury. If this incident affects the trust between us and Sargon, then this incident will become more than a simple theft. What? It's my own business. It has nothing to do with the priestess of the Endymion Temple. Back on topic, Hereia Cassandra. The opening play for tomorrow's exchange ceremony has been decided. It is to be King Perseus. A popular classic across Terra. All the priests need to do is attend. There will be no need for complicated rituals. A few weeks ago, I came to discuss the priest-directed ceremonial play for the completion of Kereseira's first temple. I have not seen you at the Astinomos office since. I apologize. My schedule is a busy one. I certainly remember. The exchange ceremony also requires an opening play, and we can kill 2 fall beasts with one stone this way. We need not bother the priest, however. Excuse me, but the rebuilding of Kereseira's first temple is a symbol of the people's spirit. Now that it is complete, tradition calls for a proper ceremony to invite the heroes to enter the temple and give Minos their blessing. The council is not trying to usurp your administrative power, and the exchange ceremony does fall within your responsibility. However, Minoan drama began as a ritualistic performance. Every single detail is carefully arranged, from the props to the program to the performers. It's not enough to simply put on a popular play. Immortal legend, witness of the oracle, heroic relic. Do not think that I am completely ignorant of the traditional ceremony, or that I am one of those radicals who calls for every tradition to be abolished. But even if you have your choice in the program and control over the troop, there is still something missing from the traditional ritual that you want, isn't there? The Sargonian mission brought Kereseira's harp. Oh, you do recognize the relic's ritual significance. What do you mean? I'm neither an archaeologist nor a historian. As Astinomos, however, I understand every priest who sits in the council, including you. You are the head priestess of Endymion Temple, and endowed with the divine gift of speaking on behalf of the heroes. Your knowledge of heroic epics put most of the scholars to shame. Yet you showed no interest about the heart of Kereseira that the Sargonian mission brought with them. You didn't even ask to see it. I do not know why exactly, but I can tell that the heart the Sargonian mission brought was not the heroic relic that you knew. The ceremonial play could not have been performed to begin with. No, I have nothing against the council, Hereia Cassandra. If you present a legitimate heroic relic for the ceremony, I will be more than happy to give the choice of play back to you. For the past century, however, the temples have mostly used crude replicas in place of true relics for your ceremonies. I don't need to tell you that the link between us and the heroes is weakening. As a modern state, Minos can no longer rely on ancient legends to unite our people's spirit. No need to worry, however, the temples and priests will continue to exist. You can continue to contribute to historical research and tourism. On one part, I am. I understand the side of the priestess. The thing that historical relics and recognition has purpose as a piece of the ceremony of the rites or the play that they have. However, I understand Lydia's position about not having more of the administrative power leaning into the people and not only on the clergy. A separation of powers and such, especially when religion is involved. It's getting late, Palace. We should split up and make our own preparations. Are you really sure about this, Titi? Yes. Ever since Benoit learned the heart was a fake, he's had it under guard by your retinue. He's not letting me get anywhere near it. He's definitely going to post more guards tonight so nothing unexpected happens, but it will be a different story tomorrow when the exchange ceremony takes place. He'll have to leave it exposed in public, which is where we'll find our chance. Right? But what comes next? Next, the Sargonian government will probably give a formal apology about the whole affair, while sending more diplomats to discuss things with the Astinamos in private. On the outside, it will look like a Sargonian mission taking a Minoan national treasure and fleeing, but the people in charge of both nations will know that all they lost was a fake. That's not my question was about, Titi. I want to know what will happen to you. What will happen to you? Me? I'll take the fake Harvan and Mio and leave via the ancient route. Can't go back to Menat Hamite, but the Shakeri guards will definitely chase me across the entire city. If I really do get caught, then it doesn't matter if it's by Benui and Parisha Kerry. Either one will most likely eliminate any inconvenient evidence, then push the blame on Minos. I have to keep running. Only then will Sargon lofty nobles not dare look too deeply into this burglary without authorization. What I will carry away with me is not just a fake heart, but the truth as well. Titi. Look, not trying to talk me out of it. I'm all for better ideas, believe me. I don't really want to carry a big, heavy heart around Terra either. Go home, Palace. Let me be alone for a while. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Fine. Titi leans against the back of a seat in the plaza and looks up. The night sky is always perfectly clear in Minos, a great boon to stargazers. It is this heavenly advantage that caused the ancient Minoans to associate their heroes with the position of the stars. When she was young, Titi's father would look up at the stars and tell her the stories of these heroes. Some you can find in history books. As for those with no source, perhaps they were simply cooked up by her underachieving bookworm of a father. Thought illness took him from this land prematurely. Titi still remembers clearly every story he told her. within those tales of Minos. Will she find one of an exiled hero carrying a fake harp? Countless stars sparkle silently in the dark sky. Titi does not find her answer. It's late. I clocked out a long time ago. Whatever it is, I can't wait. It can wait until my shift tomorrow. It is I, Grabateus. Cassandra! Cassandra! The poor pretty face twink is getting visited by a by a hornet milf at night. This is something to write. That needs writing. This is a story that needs to be written in a fanfic or something. I don't know. Forgive me. I know you're resting at the moment. May I ask why you have the dinner to visit me in the middle of the night? I wish you to know if the Astinamos has told you anything regarding the theft involving Master Santos and his apprentice. I had called upon the Astinamos office earlier to discuss the ceremonial play with her, and when I mentioned the case from a few days ago, she became evasive. The Astinamos most likely has her own concerns. It's the exchange ceremony tomorrow, after all. She not only has to deal with the entire process, but also the Targonian delegation. Therein lies my worries. If the delegation were to ask for the case to be re-examined in the name of bilateral trust, as the Astinamos is in charge of diplomacy, Lydia could hardly refuse. I could tell she was a little tense while we were talking, and her side desk had piles of Minoan law codices and incident investigation reports. She most likely is already having her hand twisted by the envoy. This means the charges against Santos and his apprentice will only become more severe and if it were not for your schoolmate Oripati nearing a crisis point, I do not believe there will be a bull potail behind your sofa's armrest. Oh, you were hiding someone. You were hiding a hottie, you fuckboy. We finally met Lena Sopolo, head of the Rhodes Island branch office. Ella says, Cassandra. Santos only came on her patients. She simply wanted to give them their medicine while they are jailed, so she came to me for help. Came to you for help? If this were any ordinary jailing, she should have no difficulty in sending medicine to convicts if she so wished. It seems my conjectures were not too far from the mark. Lydia really is going to punish those two heavily to satisfy Sargon's demand. They have most likely already been moved to death row. I never thought Hereia Cassandra, the interpreter of the Demon Temple, would be so skilled in reasoning. You should know, Hecademos, that not even the Astinamos Gramateos can visit prisoners on death row, unless you entertain some very dangerous ideas, such as a jailbreak. I could have Lycaon and his master dying in prison from an Oripathy attack. They might have done wrong, but the punishment is too severe. You have not visited me tonight, Cassandra, and do not know about the sentencing of this case. Could I ask you to help us keep this indiscreet? If all the heroes are up in the sky watching us, they will not sit idly by and allow something so ridiculous to happen. Are you doing this to save lives as well, Helena? I am. I want to save my patients and save my sister. I understand she has her ambition as Astinamos, but she has burdens to bear too, and she cannot keep making mistakes. The eyes of the people will be on the exchange ceremony tomorrow. I have already obtained the prison blueprints through personal connections, and I have a route. So long as we get them out, even if it's just to jab an emergency inhibitor into them, it will be worth it. A route is not enough. You need someone to buy you time at both the Astinamos office and the prison. I'll go find Lydia. As for the prison, I can help you. Prison break, prison break, prison break. Furious, nothing truly belongs to the Minons. But how can that be? The burden beasts we heard. You see them before? The scarves and veils draped in their heads we use to control what they see. Are they not a Sargonian invention? Ah, I am afraid you are off on the symbology of these scarves. Those are actually... don't try to give me something like they are a subtle reference to the scarves the Sargonian forced us to wear during the occupation. A difference is there between ridicule and praise. Are they both not marks they have left on Minon culture? I fail to see how you conflate the two. Still being stubborn, are you? Then let us speak of the ground beneath our feet. More than 100 years ago, Minos spread its roots, drinking deep of this paradise of rivers. But now, Parishamala, queen of the far shore, gathered the engineers of Sargon and Minos alongside countless laborers, moving Tripolis atop steel tracks. Athenos is far, far away from its former resting place. This is obvious of history. Even if the Sargonian had not come, we would have eventually moved our cities into nomadic places ourselves. It's the inevitable march of technology. Yes, I'll say it. I spent time at the Teros Temple, boy. However, there is one point you have overlooked. The very language we're using in this debate right now is mixed. The old tongue of Minos was eroded away during the occupation. The modern Minoan language, the priestess worked so hard to assemble. How many words do you think were taken from the nation you so hate? You. Enough! You do not understand the man's meaning, Lycaon. There is no removing the scars of war. A truce does not mean everything is in the past. We can no longer fight for the Minoans in our hearts, for it no longer exists. You, with the helmet, you're actually somewhat interesting. Judging by your age, you will not have experienced the occupation yourself, but your words reveal a deep understanding of the period. Do not waste precious time guessing at the history of strangers. I'm just a tramp who doesn't care if he dies on the street or in prison. I just had a decent son, but he was stolen away by his dreams. Dreams? One morning, 9 years ago, he ran out of his room, shaking me out of my hangover, telling me he had dreamed of a river, and that he should set off. A river running red with blood. I did not have to visit the priests of Endymion Temple to understand its meaning. If that boy was not trying to get away from me, then he was thirsting for battle. He forgot what an ancestor had experienced and forgot why his father is a useless, drunken gambler. Divine revelation. A river red with blood. You are Isako's father. Mio time. Titi, why aren't you back so late? I thought you were busy fleeing from justice. Yeah, I actually have to flee from justice, Mio. Wait, what? You spent all the time walking about to come up with this brilliant plan, and you want me to suffer alongside you? Take the fake heart far away, and place all the wrongs on one person's theft. That's the best way to resolve this I can think of. That's certainly not the best way, but it's definitely the most Medjehtiqedti way. Eh? 3 weeks ago, when the delegation left Sargon, you said you wanted to experience the Rodkir Seira too when going to Athenios for the first time. So you followed the ancient route, even though it was a massive pain. You could see Benoi guards talking shit about you, but you didn't want to make a scene. And you were worried they would treat the relic right, so you took that big, heavy heart with you. By yourself. And there was a time, a few months ago, in Menat Hamid, when you were helping that Pepe girl out of a bind. You went and poured an entire jug of wine all over yourself. Now you spent a lot of time grumbling to me about that afterwards, saying stuff like how a curator's salary isn't enough for Alta dry cleaning. You didn't blame Pepe. After all, you believe this is what friends should do for each other. If all your best ideas keep ending up with you taking on the burden yourself, then you should just quit already. What's so funny, huh? Nothing. It's just that after hearing your words, I even more convinced I'm doing the right thing. Like how Santos and Lycaon did not wish for a relic that is rightfully Minos to be used as a diplomatic bargaining chip, so they stole it, bearing all the consequences. I might not understand their true intents, but I believe their deeds are worthy of being recorded in the tales of the heroes. Right now, I'm just a copycat. I don't dare assume I understand what makes someone a hero, but I want to write my own tale. Even if I can't be considered a real hero, even if the protagonist of this story can only run away. I never expected you to come to such a realization, Kiria Mashayer. Cassandra? Do you not blame Santos and his apprentice, who attempted to steal the harp? If it were not for their meddling, your cultural exchange would have gone smoothly, even if what you have is but a fake. How could I blame them? I have a feeling Benui will try to seize the initiative to pressure the Astinomos into handing down an unjust sentence, but it's just two who reveal the truth. If I can shift the focus of the issue into myself by stealing the fake, and free both Santos and Lycaon, then it'd all be worth it. Wait, how do you know the heart the second delegation brought is a replica? Please come with me, Kirema Shayar. Poem of Remembrance. What? 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 There was text! There was text and I missed it! No! And here's dagger. I don't like that. I don't like that. Not one bit.
こういう時のザクロちゃんのツヤはたまらないよね。
あ、
この2本の角の示す意味を知ってるかな。
はあ。There we go. What?
Entendido. Stand still. It'll spare
Does it
all of us.
need to be blocked? Okay, I don't know. Comic Poet draws and absorbs HP from fountains. Summoning heroic ideal when complete. What? Huh? What? I was looking at the ones on there.
戻らないと。
Fuck.
そこにはまだ仲間が。
Whatever the thing on the bottom lane was trying to do. What's this? No, it was on the street of Minos. Oh, this is a heroic ideal. Draws and absorb complete heroic ideal. Heroic ideal, melee physical. Illusion created by the stories of the idol. Heroic ideals come in a million forms. Some are grand, others are simple. Not affected by immersed. Dodges physical and arts damage from your not immersed units. Oh, I see. So it's so I actually have to. Okay, let's play with the stage. Let's play with what the stage wants. $17, $18, $19, $20. There we go.
No tardará mucho.
Nice. And
こうなりましたか。
here. Nice.
Entendido. This is the strength
Nice.
of Iberia.
I forgot. I didn't Brood Palace.
戦場の匂いは別に好きじゃないから問題ないわ。ほらしっかり
我が命に従い
Huh. Ha!
挑戦しがいのある強敵か
Flashbang.
と肉から
No! Fuck! Huh.
言ってこの地獄絵図はトラウマものだからあんまり見ない方がいいよ。始末は私一人でつけられるから。
Cannot be blocked. Medjehtiqedti Bound. Cannot be blocked. Okay. Entelechia. Let's use Palace again.
勝利を守りし英雄たちよその祝福
I still have Suzerain here. Why?
出発しましょうか。
これが戦場というものね。
Here. 18, 19, 20. There we go.
Incapacitating them is enough, right?
Hmm.
もう後悔の余地はありません。
40.
や
Here.
はりこうなりましたか
Nice.
位置につきました。
Awaiting orders.
Nice.
え
Hmm.
英雄たちよ
This is the strength of Iberia.
戦術は査定したるもの戦場に出る以上
Come
は
on,
言えるな
Harold, heal faster. Nice.
Entendido. Stay on.
And there we
We'll
go.
spare all of us the effort.
There's a runner on the right side and a javelin thrower on the left side. Not that hard, I guess. Nice.
はいたやすいことです。
Yay! Hmm. Really sure about leaving the village? I'll be off at first light tomorrow. The fields have already been replowed. There's plenty of seeds and grain, and the storehouse has also been fixed. As for the farming, I taught a few of the young ones. Don't worry. I'm worried about you, Santos. You've never left the marsh before, and now you want to run off into the distance, all to find a stranger? Isakos is my brother. He's helped us all out before. It's been an entire year. Maybe he's already headed back to Athenius. That's where he was from. It makes sense. The same he agreed to do, he will do. Once the war is over, he will return. He promised me. Have you ever considered if he's already... He went off to fight the Sargonians. Then I shall avenge him. I shall avenge the Minoans. Northern Mountains, Minos. Hey, don't get so worked up. You got the wrong guy. I'm really not your Isakos or whatever it was. The one getting worked up is you, friend. I merely recognized the armor you wear. It belonged to Isakos, my brother. Before he left, every family in our village donated a leader and an item for it. I was the one who made that set of armor presentable. And forget him, his weapon. Forgive me, I've been battled for so long. Big battles, small ones, and it's been a long time since I had some proper sleep. My mind is... Here, there's still some calming herbal tea in the pot. Can you tell me who you got this armor from? Another guerrilla friend. We ran into a skirmish. He took an arrow, and before he died, he gave it to me. But his name wasn't Itacos. You see all these marks on the armor? It must have passed through a lot of hands to get that many. You might not know this, but we guerrillas are like the Sargonians army. We are not well supplied. Everyone gathers up weapons, armor, and food, which get given on depending on the mission's priority. I can tell you that fallen guerrillas unit number, and that will get you where you need to be. Alright, let me give you that armor back first. Keep it. It's still of use to you. Just telling me the way is enough, friend. If you insist, but are you sure you want to search the mountains? The mountains or the stomping grounds and where we battle the Sargonians? Then I'll join you. You haven't seen a battlefield before? Before all this, I had only ever had oars and farm tools. But we have no other choice, do we? Sorry, I don't really remember the smiling, low-hided forty you mentioned. As for these boots, I got given them when I joined the guerrillas. According to the friend who gave them to me, they belonged to a middle-aged guy who was missing a chunk of his left horn. There's a hole in them. Sorry, they're a little small for me and I haven't had the time to mend them. Those Sargonians have been chasing us this entire time. If you hadn't shown up to support us in the nick of time... Sit down. I'll help you mend them. Nasaikala. Oh, you got big hands, but they are nimble. How long you have been one of us? 4 months. I came here to find someone, at first. Keep the boots. Fighting, marching, hiding, reorganizing. You bleed, you die, or you wipe your sword. Then you jump into the next battle. Days like these are long ones. Where's the man who gave you these boots? You spun me the way, friend. I knew this leather carved on the corner of the shield meant something. You're saying it's short for Itacos, and you carved it? So you spent half a year wandering the battlefields, staying with pretty much everyone of our bands, just to find this guy? It seems you don't have much you can tell me, is there? Sorry, Santos. Also, I don't plan on giving this shield back to you. Look at just how many blade marks there are on it. And these black marks. Argonian arts can barely make a dent on it. I need to keep it. It will let me protect more of our friends. Maybe even keep me alive long enough to go home one day. If that is the case, then I couldn't be happier. Let the name Isakos stay by your side. Let our blood or eyes be witness to our victory. This is where we part, my friend. Just point me the way. It is all I ask. Try changing hands. Isakos was left-handed, which I kept in mind when I made this arts unit for him. I knew it! I knew something fell off about the power levels. It's already been a whole year, Santos. Time flies, as swift as a melted river. You're already the most famous guerrilla in the mountains. You fought the most fights, walked the most battlefields. Everybody sings of your heroism. Are you really going to keep searching for your brother? I have no reason to stop. Like how you will not turn and leave the battlefield. You're right. Your accent. You are from Lakedamun. You are from Lakedamun. I sure am. Well, more specifically, my hometown is on the route to the Medjehtiqedti follows. It's a river valley absolutely beautiful in spring. I've just told you about my hometown, the village Itakos and I founded together. You should tell me more about yours. We have been losing this war for over 100 years. We do not know how it will end. We should remember each other's hometowns. We should remember each other. I'll be more than happy to, my friend. I continue my search tomorrow. Just point me the way, friend. And the heroic tales will say that they were roommates. Why must I suffer the indignity of being tied to this tree, Minoan? Like I said, answer my question. Itakos. Always about Itakos. Fine. I had enough. 2 years ago, my troops met with Minoan guerrillas near here. They were escorting some wounded. I remember that ensign matches the unit you mentioned. We wiped them out. That Itakos you keep talking about should have been one of them. You happy now? You seriously set up an ambush for the sake of a battle 2 years ago, so you could capture me and have your revenge. You're mad, Minoan. An absolute lunatic. You might not believe me, but this is all just a coincidence. Before today, I was not thinking of finding Itakos or killing his enemies. This battle is no different to the ones of the past year. No, the past century. You invaded land that doesn't belong to you, Sargonian, and we have no choice but to defend our home. I have simply become accustomed to asking everyone I met, have you seen Itakos? Have you seen that smiling, long-haired forte? He's from Athenius, but he has a South Country accent. Such a thing truly does mean I am, as you say, mad. I have found his armor, his boots, his shield, his arts units. Everything he left behind on this wooded mountain. I have found him. I have never thought you invaders would remember the name of every Minoan you met. Your body shall hardly care about what every line in your books of merit actually means, do they? That said, Itakos, remember this name. It is of passion, or love, and your crime, your punishment. Now, tell me, where was that battle exactly? Which of these spheres was watered with the blood of Minos? Santos looks up and sees countless Minoan spheres standing tall. The wind blows and the entire forest rustles. This land, these woods, they remember many things, but they do not speak. His brother, his friend, the youth who followed his revelation and left home, he died here, somewhere, everywhere. Itakos, countless Itakoses, have left not even bones, as for the sake of the land beneath their feet. Santos lifted a giant oar on his hand. After an entire year, it has forgotten the river's burble. Now, all that can wet it is the blood of his enemy. Did you avenge Itakos? No. And just as I was about to smash in the head of the Sargonian with my weapon, my friend stopped me, while the bubbles cried out. You never told me the campaign you experienced was. The final battle before Minos and Sargon signed a ceasefire. Minos, which had lost for 100 years, had finally won. That friend of mine desperately held back my hand. He had a broken leg, and yet he could still bring such strength to bear the rain in. I turned and saw his face full of tears, and his eyes full of fear. Not towards Sargonian, but towards me. I knew what he was so afraid of. He was afraid I would destroy this hard-won peace. He was afraid I would bring about new conflict, that I will extend this cruel war. He was afraid he will become like Isakos, forever unable to return home. My pent-up rage and grief had nowhere to go. All I could do was watch that Sargonian officer kneel on the ground, numbly listening to the balls. The same numbness I felt. It was that moment I knew the war will rage on in our bodies. It had begun, and it could never end. You're right. The Minos in my heart no longer exists. It died on the battlefield many years ago, alongside the Isakoses. But I will not allow the enemy to defile our land again. Not even if they had built this city. Not even if they had built this city. So, even the textbooks say that nowadays? What do you mean? Isakos went to your village, so full of passion, unlike me. He must have taught you many building techniques. Indeed. He renovated nearly every important building in the village. His techniques were passed down from his ancestors. During the occupation, my young grandfather was pressed into service by the Sargonians to build the nomadic cities, thanks to his master of engineering. What? The mobility layer of this Athenius might just be his handiwork. Forgive me, I was far too rude to you earlier. Do not bow your head for that, boy. I am not the engineer who built the nomadic cities. I don't have proof of how much our ancestors toiled building Athenius. All that data was taken away by the Sargonians. The Sargonians wanted the Minoan engineer's data. But why? An engineer's notes will always have something more than just jargon and modification blueprints. He had to keep track of the quantities of building materials while coordinating transport and construction teams, so he was a meticulous planner of manpower and remembered the names of every worker. Not Sargonian workers, but the name of those from Minos, and where they came from, and how the Sargonians forced them to do their bidding. Minoan workers? As I recall, current mainstream thinking is that Padishamala did not use any Minoan workers for heavy labor while the Tripolis were being built. Do you mean to say history was not written by us, not even our final victory? But there is evidence of wrongdoing, evidence that should be shared with the public. Do you remember where this engineer's notes are? How should I know? Ask the Sargonians. But the Sargonians are probably dead by now. Ask the Sargonians. The construction of the Tripolis. No! What is it, Master? The Sargonian mission is not using the exchange to obtain technical data, but rather the notes detailing proof of the Sargonian sins.
サルゴンの戦士はまさにこういう勝利を追い求めてるんだ。もちろん私もそのうちの一人だよ。
I need to go for water and something. I'll come back quickly. So maybe this note is going to be the last one. Then, because this has been long. These two notes have been very, very long. So this is probably going to be the last one for today, and tomorrow we finish it. So, Ahoy, I'm back. So, let's start with this. And tomorrow we will finish this event. Miracles do not happen on their own. This is the true harp of Creceira. The princess of Endymion reaches out her hand to brush away a corner of the fence running around the Burden Beast pasture, pulling out a few overgrown blades of grass, revealing a harp built into the fence itself. The simple instrument has nearly become one with the pasture. Not far away, the Burden Beast leisurely munched at the radishes the priest had brought along, humming in satisfaction. Its coloration has darkened. The paint on the face is mottled, and while the decorative elements are still there, their surfaces have Burden Beast bite and have polishing marks. The whole thing looks like an ornament in the corner of the field. I shouldn't question you, but I find it rather hard to believe. You're a specialist in your field, and no doubt have a repertoire of techniques and standards to confirm it. You may examine it in detail. If you say so. The wood used for the harp's body is definitely formed from the firs that grow near the site of old Athenius. As for its design, it's simpler than the one I brought. The strings are far too new, though. These are metal strings, only popularized in the last few years. The original strings snapped a long time ago. I replaced them recently. I had also tried using traditional Biscuit strings, but no matter the type, the result was always the same. Legend has it that the old day Athenius fell, Creceira's harp fell silent, never to sound again. Metal, Biscuit. Once a month I will come here to try and play it, but I could never make it sing again. However you put it, it's the harp Creceira used. Assuming what you say is true. Sargonians aren't occupying Minos anymore. Why keep it hidden in a field? Why, when I suggested holding the ceremony at the first temple? No, even before that, when the Astinamos agreed to conduct the exchange of the Select. You're a priestess. You must have known. Why didn't you bring it out earlier? A harp that doesn't sing is merely a beautiful piece of wood. A harp that doesn't sing is merely a beautiful piece of wood. Wood. It can be a fence in a field, or a toy for the Burden Beasts, but what it cannot be is the centerpiece around which to gather everyone together for a ceremony celebrating the completion of a temple. This makes no sense. Even the fake we brought plays notes that move the soul, which is why it is merely a fake. As for the harp before us, if you don't believe me, try it for yourself. You might touch it. No need for reverence. I understand your hesitation. If you can make it sing, if you can create a miracle, then you might consider it the harp you brought along and use it to complete your trade. I made you this promise as the current keeper of the harp. Sorry, but I got one more question. Why me? Sure, I need the real harp, but the first temple also needs it. Okay. I am a priestess of Endymion Temple, Kyria Mashayar. We are the hierophants of revelation. For the people who interpret dreams, decipher visions, and divine the future. Sometimes we will offer some comforts of our own accord, but most of times we will be passive, deferring to established facts and heroic wills. Words flow from my lips, but they are beyond my control. Like how the things appearing before my eyes are not necessarily a pleasure to see. We might call coincidence fate, But when true fate approaches, all our witticisms and pontification lose their meaning. Do I have the power to allow the sun to shine, the rivers to flow, to dictate all from high to low? You carry the harp of Cresseira, counterfeit though it may be, and it has appeared in Athenius. This can only be an omen. The events of the past few days stand as proof. But what is most important is your character. It is because it is you and not your fellow countryman that you expect your spirit to resonate with the harp. First, try singing heroic odes to it. Try playing it. Give your heart to it and speak to it. Then, perhaps, you will be able to make it sing and bring about a miracle. She's finally gone. All that mysterious claptrap. Sheesh. What? Ready to play already? You really believe her? She's a priestess of Minos and Pallas' friend. I doubt she'd lied to me about this. Also, if we really can bring the real harp to the ceremony of the first temple, it will sure beat running all over Terra with a fake harp strapped to my back. It doesn't really matter if this is true fate the priest speak of, or if it's some kind of test from the Minoan people, but I have to give it a try. And how are you going to do that? All that give your heart to it and bring about a miracle, Balloony? What's your methodology here? Let's start by playing it. Holy shit, that sounds terrible. Not good. No matter what I try, it only makes these dull sounds. Is the harp structure damage? This kind of handheld harp doesn't have a sound box. The issue is probably somewhere elsewhere. I already tried adjusting the tension of the strings, but no effect. Could it be a problem with some delicate internal component? But I don't have any tools to take it apart, inspect it, and reassemble it right now. Yeah. What a pain in the ass. I'm thinking we go back to stealing the fake harp. Worst comes to worst, I'll help you steal it. Stealing it doesn't mean having to traipse around Terra. Well, we can still do that if you want. I could go to your Pepe girl for some funding. But now that the real harp is right in front of me, making that choice now will be like running away. Wah! We can call it a tactical relocation if you fear. Ever since I was little, the heroes in the tales my father told me, they never ran away. Just my bad luck having to take part of in this wordless funeral. A useless idiot who squandered every chance the Padisha gave him. This mongrel destroyed our family's reputation. Hey, not in front of the girl. What does it matter? I said all that to the man himself. All he did was smile. Didn't even have the courage to talk back. Couldn't fight worth a damn. Had zero skill in managing the family estate. He said he could appraise things, but he couldn't tell good gems from bad. All he ever did was buy a pile of ancient Minoan books. Who knows if that was even worth anything? All he did was think about useless things like that. Maybe he has the sort of romantic soul the poets sing of. Romantic? Save it. Would you rather have romance or jewels? You're asking me? It's not like I'm a poet myself. To me, a giant jewel is an expression of romance. The day my father was buried, the nobles of the city spoke ill of him in front of me and my mother. Mother said we were an ancient Sargonian family and that we had to maintain perfect decorum. So all I could do was maintain an appropriate expression of my face. I knew what they said might have been right, but he was a people pleaser through and through, someone who amounted to absolutely nothing. But I still didn't want to hear them judge him as they pleased. The heroes of the Minoan tales my father told me were brave, never shirking from their duties. They would meet all sorts of obstacles in their journey, but they were always determined, forever confronting the challenges they had to confront. I never really knew why. My father, he was a weak man. Why did he love these stories? This passion of his, why did it never change him? Or how he treated people? I simply don't understand. Look, don't shoot a messenger here, but maybe some puny humans yearn for the things they don't have. Maybe. But I always remember how clear and steady his voice was as he told me these stories. I love those stories too. Those heroes, gentle, strong, resolute, always walking their own paths. That's how I imagine them. There must be some greater purpose or ideal, otherwise I don't know what meaning there is in life. A hero must face fate bravely when it comes and carry their own burden. Father's stories always had lines like that. Those tales. Sylvie, the hero who suffered in silence, keeping her secrets. Kereseira, Herakes. I need to think of a way. As she sits out in the field, racking her brains, Titi falls into a slumber. She dreams a dream where she is but 7 or 8. Her father was already ill at the time. With one cold hand he held her, but with the other he flipped through the tome atop his knee, slowly reciting from it. He never bought her children's books or chose books specifically for her. He simply went with what he liked. But it didn't matter because Titi liked those stories too. Within those tales, the silent hero Siopi does not speak a word for 30 years, all to keep a secret. Cresseira, refusing to perform for Outlanders, hangs her harp atop a laurel tree. Perhaps it is the filter of dreams at work, but her father seems to tower over her. The slightly stooped back of her memories now ramrod, straight, his voice one of undeniable confidence. All of us have the chance to become a hero. When your duty falls upon you, you need only take it up with courage, Titi. Really? Can I? How can you be so sure? It has been so long since she last saw her father, and she wants to ask him these questions, but it is only a dream, and it refuses to bend to her will. In the end, she could not ask what she wished to ask. The gentle light of the twin moons falls upon the pasture and upon the girl. Muse good. The land is painted in silver. A breeze blows, curling up the girl's ribbons, lifting the burden beast's headscarves. Even the antiquated marred harp takes on a gentle radiance under the moonlight. A teardrop slowly falls from the corner of Titi's eye. It rolls into the bushes, soon gone from sight. Falling asleep after all that jammering. She didn't even wake me up. It seems the little girlie needs her beauty sleep too. Hey, what's with the crying? You're always all about that stiff upper lip, always saying you won't cry, and now you're letting me catch you in the act. I need to keep some evidence for later. Terminal, photo mode. How the hell do you use this thing? Ah, press here. Nothing interesting about a crying girl. Forget it. Wait, give me a second. It's raining. A little bit. I'll help you out, you cry baby. Call it payback for the free meals these past few days. You wanted a miracle, right? Easy as proverbial pie. Hmm. Some real nice weather we got today. Gotta head the burden beast to the mountain pastures first, then since it's such a lovely day, I better repair the fence. What the? The burden beast? How did all the burden beasts get out? So, a perfect cliffhanger. I have to finish it tomorrow. So yes, that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I would have tried if it wasn't Saturday. I would have tried to finish this in one sit, but it's probably gonna take 2 hours. So that's for tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, a subscribe, a comment, whatever you would like to do. I have been... This has been Medjehtiqedti Bound, an event of Arknights. And I hope that you come back next time. That drop goes hard as fuck, man. So that's it. Thank you and goodbye.